When my wife was 20 weeks pregnant with our second baby, I was so happy when I found out that he was another boy. Awesome, I said, 2 boys. They'll always have each other, they'll wrestle, they'll play soccer with me, they'll be brothers forever. Having 2 boys in the house will balance out the estrogen of having 2 moms. After a bit of a harrowing delivery, little Ezra was born. He had a full head of black hair and cute monkey fur down his back. We dressed him up in his brother's blue newborn clothes and oohed and ahed over him. We were sent home from the hospital with the usual instructions to follow up with our pediatrician. Pretty soon, he started smiling his beautiful, sweet smile and then crawling around the house at only 5 months old. We were so proud. Life carried along swimmingly, his mind-bending toddler tantrums aside. One time, now in family lore, he disintegrated into a tantrum at temple, screaming, "I lose it!" Until he was almost age 3 when we were preparing for the arrival of his sister. At that time, he started wanting to wear all of the pink, purple, and sparkly clothes that were arriving daily at the door, passed down from friends' daughters who had outgrown them. How cute, I thought. He wants to get involved in getting ready for the baby. I soon realized that it was much, much more than that. He did not want to be a girl, no, but he sure wanted to dress like one. He soon progressed to only wanting girl toys, a girl toothbrush, and girl books. I was shocked and a little horrified, to be honest. Wait a second, you're saying? Didn't you just say something about your wife before? Aren't you, a gay person, totally and completely comfortable with gender nonconformity? Don't you actually find it desirable? And don't you, in fact, wear men's clothes much of the time? Well, yes, I guess. But in the case of my boy, old man Freud reared his ugly head. What will they say, he said. Of course a boy raised by 2 women is like this, failing to fulfill the Oedipus or Electra or whoever complex. Dark voices live inside all of us, and my dark internal voice was telling me that he shouldn't be this way, that something I had done was wrong. I searched his early toddlerhood for answers as to how I had damaged him, but came up empty. Everything that I knew about myself, about the permanence of my own queer identity, and the way that I felt growing up into a gay person went right out the window. It had nothing to do, honestly, with wanting to protect him or wanting him to have an easy life. It came down to me. What others would think of me, how others would judge me. When I realized that it was about me and not about him, I recognized I needed to let it go. He's 7 years old now, and I know that he will face prejudice and hatred, some of which I know, and some of which I can never know. It will be his experience, and all that I can do is be his soft place to land. Not too soft. Now looking back on it, those extreme toddler tantrums, not experienced by either of his siblings, may have been his way of crying out, "You don't see me for who I am." The injustice of sometimes not being able to verbalize your own difference is not lost on me. Now when we look back with him at his 1-year-old pictures, wearing the little blue polo and tiny khaki overalls, we joke with him that we just didn't know then that he liked pink. He gets it. At the end of the proverbial day, I realized that sometimes our children reflect the aspects of ourselves that we most fear. I feared his difference because despite my best efforts to live a fully out and proud life, which I do, I cannot totally silence that hateful inner voice that tells me that gay people are different, bad, unworthy. Now, though, I'm determined that if I am raising the next generation of the LGBTQ community, that I will make him mentally healthier than my generation. I still, of course, worry about the future for Ezra and for all 3 of my children, but I know for sure that I support him wholeheartedly. I love his obsession with Hello Kitty, and I love that all of his friends accept and love him for exactly who he is. I love how other parents invite him to the girls-only birthday parties in his class, understanding that to be with his friends, that's where he's gonna go. I see that for him to be happy, I need to be happy with him, And isn't that all that any child wants from their parents? Pride, happiness, acceptance. Thank you to my baby for teaching me to look more deeply inside by myself. And by the way, not one of them plays soccer with me.